So what did you miss at Jubilee today? Well, you missed an interesting day, a good gathering, a gathering where we grieved together, where we shared our fear together. Grief and fear inspired, heightened, embodied, I suppose, by the horrific shooting of our Muslim brothers in Ville de Quebec, who were targeted simply because they were praying in a way that some people don't like, to a God that some people don't understand. But but in remembering and honoring them and committing ourselves to a world where people are not targeted for their beliefs, where people can pray in safety, we also acknowledge that our fear is even deeper. Our fear is for the disintegration of community and society, the disintegration of our world as we come apart on either side of a ever widening chasm between rich and poor, privileged and oppressed, right and left, right and wrong. We prayed for a world, a time, a way of integration when we are drawn together, when we fit together, even when we are not the same, where we find room for respect and love, even though we differ, when differences are celebrated and conflicts are resolved through mutual effort and love, where compassion is a goal, not a punchline. As we prayed aloud and read the names of those who were killed last Sunday, we sang and the choir sang softly beneath our prayers the words, "Don't be afraid. My love is stronger. My love is stronger than your fear. Don't be afraid, for I have promised. I promise to be always near." We sang it in English and French, and we prayed. And we felt and heard God's answer. And so, after some time together today, we are a little less afraid, aware that we're not in this alone, and aware that we are invited to help the world be less afraid, less alone, more integrated, that together we might be brothers and sisters, all part of a wondrous creation. So you missed that if you weren't with us today. But I'm sure in the last week you've had an opportunity, at least I hope you have, to share your grief and your fear, to share them out loud, to pray them, and to find that you're not alone. None of us are. And to find a way to not only believe, but to be part of a better way forward. In the rest of our service, we heard some really wonderful music. We listened to Matthew's gospel and we listened to the prophet Isaiah call out to us about real worship and the kind of fast that God really looks for. And then I imagined driving with Jesus as Jesus criticizes my sermon. And Jesus and I talk about what it means to be salt of the earth, what Isaiah means when he calls us to a real fast, to real worship. I imagined the conversation, and yet I think that there was a lot of truth in my story. We are called to be salt, not the whole stew. We are called to be salt and to live out our fast, live out our worship, not an empty ritual, but in actual connection with the world. So we heard about that. And then we sang together. and promise to go into the world, daring to love, daring to be salt, and to be ready for change in ourselves and the world around us. That's what you missed today. But I hope we get to see you soon, because we would love to see you. And it matters to us a great deal when you can be with us. Until we see you in person, God bless.